All right, join the Discord if you want more cool coffees. That's where we announce all of the collaborations first, like this coffee. But in the video, we will brew all these coffees and talk about Servio Botina. I have Prestin here, but otherwise, yeah, enjoy. We are here at Prestin's. We got the coffee. So this is Servio Botina. We'll talk a little bit about the coffee because this is the Collab coffee. And what we're going to do is we're going to brew it, and you guys can follow along and try our recipes. We actually put out some videos of the recipes in the past weeks, but this is the production roast of the coffee, which is very, very exciting. Oh, wow.
I'm stoked. Yeah, I'm really...
Like, this is such an interesting coffee because it is washed and it is so expressive. I just think about the color red when I smell this coffee.
Right.
Red.
Right.
But why don't we talk a little bit more about how you came across Servio Botina? I think, we've tasted his coffees from you before, but, we haven't really heard, like, the story of how you came across this coffee because you featured it last year and then now we have it again this year.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have it because Servio has become very popular. I and many other roasters discovered Servio's work at a cup competition in Huila, one of the great importers of North America. Osito puts on this cup competition now called Copa de Oro. And it's always funny. My favorite cups are generally the cups that don't score number 1 or 2.
Yes.
Those generally have a little bit more process on them. And I think my favorite cup that I tasted last year was Servio's coffee. And so I was like adamant on getting some of that coffee. And then, of course, other people who were like-minded and curating quality coffee definitely wanted to make sure that they had first right of refusal on this coffee. So it's a blessing and an honor and a very special privilege that we got Servio's coffee back. It's a testament to me that so many roasters want his coffee, and I think it's for good reason. It's exciting, it's vibrant, it's Kenya-esque, unlike any other Colombian coffee that I've had. And it really speaks for itself, in the cup. So
yeah, and the way I would describe this type of expression is it's like that clean, expressive flavor profile where you can clearly tell it is a wash coffee. But, I know a lot of people think wash coffee very subtle, very delicate. This is loud, expressive, very Kenya-like, as you mentioned. And what's awesome about this is that it's a really, it takes a lot of those like loudness properties that Pink Bourbon has, but it does skew in that kind of Kenya world, which is super fascinating considering this is a coffee coming from Colombia. But very, very clean. And if you have tasted Prestin's roasts before, there's so much happening. I think, what you'll find is also, especially how he brews it, you're going to find a lot of just super interesting texture and body. But what we're going to do is Prestin's going to brew his brew. There's a video on his recipe. And then I'm going to brew my brew of this coffee. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But really, this is just a testament to how strong the coffee is because you can push it in so many different directions.
Right. Yeah. However you brew this one, including espresso, it's going to be really fun. And it's soluble. So no problem brewing, extracting those forward flavors out of the coffee. Yeah. Either any brew style is going to work, That's the nice thing about this roast profile and just this coffee in general is going to be good.
Yeah, we are brewing this, I would say, a little bit on the earlier end. I know this is a coffee. If you guys get this in, please let this one rest.
It's a little young.
Yeah, it's a little young, so we're going to need to let it bloom and all of that. But wow, it's smelling amazing.
It's already coming off strong. Yeah. And I like the idea, and I do this too. Even if this is a light roast, brew it, at 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's really fun to watch the coffee evolve.
Yeah. And I think for this coffee, what you'll really find is this red fruit acidity that starts to just pop across the following weeks as you rest this coffee. I think this is also a great example of how value and quality of coffee are not necessarily interlinked. I know some of you guys who bought this coffee, you guys also ordered Esmeralda at the same time, which is a fantastic coffee.
Right.
But, you taste a coffee like this and you're like blown away just given its price point.
Right.
And this is just a great example of that. Is like it doesn't necessarily mean more expensive is better,
Right.
but like this is super loud for the price.
For what what you're paying for, you're getting a very luxurious coffee. And it's worth noting that Esmeralda is the most famous of the farms, and they're producing exceptional coffee. Servio is infamous amongst roasters and green coffee buyers because of how good the work is. And, we're paying him top dollar, but it's still not anywhere near what the fame and prestige that Esmeralda has. And I think it's worth noting that you're getting an extremely fancy or beautiful cup here for what you're paying, and I'd be happy to pay more. And I hope that the consumer would understand why, just by letting this coffee rest and open up and brewing it side by side with something like a Panamanian geisha. The florality, the Kenyan tart clarity, the red fruit notes, all of those attributes are just so layered, intricate, and articulate that I think it's really fun to taste and compare when you have it up against something like an Esmeralda or anything famous and prestige.
It's easy to taste because it's so loud. But when you think about it, when you let it cool down, when you rest the coffee out, you will be able to experience a lot of those delicate nuances in this very loud and expressive profile. And I think that's really what a lot, especially me who likes cleaner washed coffees at times, like, you can, it's a coffee that's easy to perceive, but if you think about it, you're like, oh wow, that's why this is a good coffee.
Right. And Pink Bourbon has so many iterations. It's really cool to see something like this that's, to me, very different from a lot of Whelan Pink Bourbon coffees. It's in its field of its own. And Servio does an utmost job of picking only the ripest cherries and drying everything very evenly. You just look at it and it is a very, very clean, physically clean coffee, and that comes through in the cup.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to taste this between our brews. So Prestin's brews, long ratio, stretching things out, but really big body and expressiveness. And then my brew is going to be much heavier on the agitation. So we'll see what happens. It's just fun to be able to do this. And then for those of you, feel free to pull it as espresso, soup it, do whatever you want. It's going to be really interesting to see how this coffee turns out across different brew methods. But the difference here. Yeah, so these are just actually the X-Bloom paper filters, but they're fast-flowing paper filters. So we're basically just showcasing, like, hey, this coffee is great. You can brew it in very different styles, and it's still going to pop. Yeah.
I'm going to let you take over this station here.
All right. I'm just actually going to use the exact same grind size Preston was using, because that's the cool thing about coffee is, like, you can manipulate so much just through brewing and obviously through something like the paper filters. But all right, and we're redosing from this. Yeah, there was something I wanted to mention when you were brewing it is the level of florality of this coffee is super fascinating. I'm finding that you associate usually like florality with something like geisha, but this is a Pink Bourbon that has florality in it, which is like super fun.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of hibiscus, which everything red really, but. It's
all right. I'll brew. You were brewing 17 grams.
I'm brewing 17 grams. Okay, you can do 16. It was a low 17. That's perfect.
Yeah, I'll do 17.
That's perfect.
So we're doing very similar.
Would have been better to do 16.
Brew. And then if you guys didn't see the bag, right, you can see it's got the very fun colorway. All right, let's grind this up.
Let's grind it.
Oh wow. There's just this florality from a Pink Bourbon that's just so fascinating. Actually, you know what this really reminds me of? This is specific to you, is you had a Churroso from Carmen Montoya.
Yeah.
Just like super interesting to have florality from a lot of these other varietals that you really just kind of don't expect today. Oh, wow. Hibiscus, floral.
Got rose in there too, yeah. Yeah, no, and I think it's interesting to think about just the correlation that Pink Bourbon is a land, genetically connected to Ethiopia, and is a type of a land race. And So is Chirozo, as you mentioned, another landrace. So a lot of Ethiopian coffees or these landrace varieties just exhibit florality, no matter where they're grown, how they're grown, but in so many different ways. And then this way, we were getting a lot of red florals, hibiscus, rose, and just like sweet tropical notes. Plum in there. Okay, so you're really agitating.
Yes, I am really agitating.
A hearty stir.
Yes.
Yeah, and I just rinse in there.
Yeah. And then my kettle is off,
Okay,
and then I'm just gonna let
cool
this
down.
sit for like a minute.
Okay.
And I was at 212 Fahrenheit.
Okay. When you went in, you just went straight
I
in.
did 60-ish grams, and I was, doing heavy pours.
Yeah.
And then I just do 2 mellow drip pours, but fast agitation. And you'll see
Okay.
I pour quite close to the bed. So just very different style. And I'm also brewing to 1 to 17. So pour it here, pouring about 10 mils a second.
Okay,
and I do
moving
this.
moving about.
Yes, I like to move the coffee around.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
also let that drain through. But as you guys can see in the video, much faster flow with these paper filters.
Yeah.
So just different style.
Yeah.
But-
what way faster?
Yeah, but we're at the same grind size. So your brew was about 4.5 minutes, I think, or 5.
Yeah, this
almost
one
5
went
minutes.
to about 5. I was a little quick on the pour.
Yeah.
And these are the X Bloom.
Yeah, so they're just
Styles.
fast filters.
Okay,
Like
yeah.
Cafec T90 will do the
Sure.
same thing. But it's just filling it up, and then, we get all the fines, and any boulders, any weird stuff
They
gets
just
sticking
kinda
to the
wash
side.
up.
Yep,
Yeah.
so it's
you
very
got
similar.
fines down, yeah.
Yep. And then so I just do 3 pours. Right when my bed begins to dry out, I just do hit it with like another full pour until
You let it go all the way through?
almost all the way
Almost,
through.
okay.
Yeah.
We're not double brewing here.
No. So just about here. And then I believe should be about 270 is our 1 to 17, give or take.
Correct.
Yes. So 269. Close enough.
That's a perfect
But-
match. Yeah.
But yeah, it's the same thing where it's like, it looks like your brew where we push everything up to the top, where there's that layer of water, it lifts up all the fines.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to simulate something like taking a V60 and swirling it, where you shoot all the fines out to the side, but
Right.
with mellow drip. That's why I'm pouring very close to the bed at high agitation. So you see honestly, the fines from this burr set, the 83 brew or MP, quite low. But you do see that the fines get trapped all the way up here.
I see. It is a lot more gentle than doing a stir
Yes.
with the V60. So I'm hoping that adds a little or brings out more clarity than maybe
Yeah.
the stir. With
Yeah,
the
I also
V60.
do find that if you stir and you tap and all of that, you can stall your brew. Obviously, depending on paper filter and whatnot. But this is I think this is a happy medium between the two.
Yeah. I like the way that you're keeping the water going down via the mellow drip.
Yeah. So this is just like my however style of brew I have gone to now, and then all of our chaff and all the weird stuff, like it's gonna be at the top. This is actually not that chaffy of a coffee.
No,
It was pretty
No.
good. Yeah.
I mean, clean.
Yeah.
But so you're usually hitting around 3.5.
Well, this is
to
a
4
bit
minutes?
bigger dose. Usually I'm at like 330.
Okay.
But we're 17
15.
grams versus 15. Usually I'm 50. Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm using the exact same grind size as you. So yeah,
Sure.
we're still a minute quicker than your brew, because
Yeah.
I'm pouring at like 10 to 15 mils a second versus you're pouring. I think I was looking at it around like 5 to 6.
Right.
So a bit slower.
Yeah.
But here we go.
If I'm patient, I'll pour even slower. But when you're brewing in front of the camera, sometimes you just
Yeah.
get ahead of yourself.
But you can still see okay, yours looks a little darker than mine, which makes sense.
Yours is looking pretty hefty, though.
But that's because all that agitation
Yeah.
at the beginning and wet WDTing helps get you the color.
Yeah, it
basically.
definitely does.
But the point is that if you have really great coffee, you can brew it in so many different ways. And all we're doing is just different types of dynamics and expression through brewing, right? Like maybe, for example, if you look at Prestin's brews, he likes that heavy, sticky body that's like on your palate, whereas I'm trying to push up acidity up front, but giving you, some sort of balance and sweetness there too. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we can taste these, or we'll let them cool. With Preston's coffees, let them cool. You know, obviously, I think it's fun to taste it when it's hot to cold, but I think you'll really see when these coffees cool almost down to room temperature. That's when they're like the most transparent, and this is where you'll be able to experience the biggest, you know, why we're so excited about this coffee, right? Like there's so much happening.
Right.
Okay, you're gonna brew another one?
You got these super thin filters. Did you want to do one of those?
We can do it. We can do a non-woven for fun. So yeah, okay, this is non-woven. I brought a non-woven over. I also have I've switched from V60 to these
Let's
guys.
do that.
This is the Time More Crystal Eye. They actually have a new version of this, but this has less bypass than that. It's going to be kind of weird to do this because we also have a really fast filter, but sure, I don't know, let's brew it on this. So if you guys
whatever
are...
you want to, yeah.
Yeah, I guess let's do 15. Okay, we'll brew another one for fun.
Why not? We're here.
And this is going to be like some of you guys who are on the very modern brewers. Like some of you guys like the really, really fast stuff with lower bypass.
All right. I like those too.
So we were at like 70 and we went to 60.
Yeah, 75.
So these the non-woven paper filters, they let a lot of fines through. Well, not even fines, but like they don't capture fines in the same way that the other paper filters have, especially something like T92, T90. So we might get, you know, a little more, I guess, body in the cup, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean that's like a bad thing, right? This is a preferential thing. But I like the Time More brewer because even on something like this, the filter sticks in really well, and you'll see we'll get less bypass through here. But yeah, this is a non-woven.
Shouldn't have given mine away.
These are fun.
Let's do that. Yeah, no, yeah. They're good. They're good brewers.
Oh man, this coffee just smells great. But they have a new version of this, so I'm already behind the curve. Like these guys, they already have they have the Crystal Eye Turbo. All right, so I think this. Yeah, so I dump 60 in, and then I'm gonna get in here, and I like to just agitate, swirl things around. This is pretty fresh.
Yeah, I mean this is not even 2 weeks, so we're.
Yeah, I mean, the florality is just crazy on this coffee. It's just fascinating. Nice. I'll just brew the exact same way I was brewing earlier, and we'll see.
Man, they are thin.
Yeah. I could have brought more of them, but they also make those in flat bottom. But that's actually from June, from Bean and Bean, importing filters. They're good, but we'll have different expressions. So 2 different brew styles, different paper. Actually, all three different paper filters, but 2 similar recipes because I'm brewing.
I'm sure it's more than enough to show some big differences in cup profile.
But I mean, look at that.
Yeah, it is.
Look how fast that is.
It's almost like espresso.
Yeah, but we're grinding even finer than you were before, which is like what's fascinating about this.
Yeah.
But on this brewer, you can see like where the fines capture up here, and there's significantly, I mean, I don't want to say significantly less bypass, but a lot less bypass than a traditional V60. So for people who want, say, slightly more body, if you use the same paper filters, that's usually what I get.
The Time More will help.
Yeah, on the Time More.
That's cool.
And this is 1 to 17. So, yeah. But same methodology where we add a lot of water and we're close and we spin everything so you see all the fines shoot out to the side. Chaff is going to flip up to the top there. And this is the fastest brew despite us grinding the finest. And, you know, we might get a little bit of silt in there. I don't really think we're going to get that. That's like the big complaint with the non-wovens. Like sometimes it lets too much pass through.
Right.
But that is kind of grinder and coffee dependent. But, you know, this recipe hopefully shoots out most of those fines. And also, you don't want to always remove all of the fines. Like, fines give you some sort of interesting, you know, details in the coffee. And there we go. So this is, 230. So a whole 1.5 minutes faster. And, you know, you can still see that it is
quite dense.
Quite dense, yeah. So these are the high extraction, you know, this is the current technology, high extraction, non-woven paper filters. It is like... It is what a lot of people who are trying now, but we'll have 3 different paper filters, obviously 1 different brewer, but different brew styles. But, you know, this is what you can do with the coffee. This is what we suggest you do, you know, play with the coffee.
Yeah.
This is what's fun.
Yeah, I think so too, especially when the coffee is this good. Being able to just see what kind of angle you can get on the coffee really showcases the versatility, the layers, and the diversity of profiles that the Servio's coffee can proffer.
Yeah.
Like, it's a completely different coffee to me as espresso, and I'm sure it's going to have profound differences, even just with these filter changes and slight pouring changes. The magic.
Yeah, a lot of coffee. Well, we're letting all these coffees cool, so that is the thing you should do with these coffees is let them cool before you taste. Yeah, we did a little photo shoot, but yeah, we'll let these coffees cool down. Why don't we start with yours?
Okay, yeah.
Because yours are the coolest.
Yeah, okay.
But
cheers, mate.
Cheers. Thank you for doing this. Oh, wow. Okay, there's a lot happening here. Perceivably very red. Like, that's the first thing. But this is definitely your style of brew. It's very heavy, very in your face, and super long, like, stickiness of acidity. But it's so sweet and clean.
I'm actually surprised at the tannins on this one. It is very gripping. It's like cherry skin. You know, it's got legs. Yeah, it's the acidity is gripping. The body is very, very viscous, and look at that. It's very poignant. It's like, got cranberry going on in there. It's red cherry. If this were a pink bourbon, it's a very red pink bourbon in my mind.
Yeah, I think this is more like pomegranate, cranberry leaning, whereas like a lot of pink bourbons would be like strawberry and I get like kiwi sometimes in pink bourbons. This is more like, pomegranate, cranberry, but like heavy. This is really nice. And it's incredibly layered, and I get this really nice like hibiscus florality. It almost reminds me of like, sometimes when you taste Kenyan coffee, you'll get Kenyan coffees that are more like, I guess, mango skewing at times, like tropicals sometimes. Yeah. It's nice. So much. there's so much happening.
I think the strawberry is going to come out eventually. But we're getting because this is a younger, just fresh off roast. It's really, it's got that tighter perception.
Yeah, it'll open up. But still, what's fascinating about this is such a large ratio, right? You really don't expect this type of body with this type of ratios. Okay, let's taste my brew. Hopefully, it's good.
1 to 17.
This is 1 to 17. About a minute faster. Yeah, so very different expression already, where like this is, definitely less gripping, but like has that pointier acidity. Yeah. Still, this is like, man, this coffee is great. Like, you can push in so many different directions. But what do you think about this type of brew?
I really like this. I really do. I think it's almost like a cleaner, glossier feel on the palate. The body is elegant. It's juicy. And like you said, the acidity is just tapped in right at the end. And it's got a nice finish with the acidity. Yeah. The sweetness is very easy to perceive and enjoy. And like I said, it's just like really elegant on the palate. Yeah. I really like this.
Yeah, so the reason why I think you get the acidity is from all that agitation at the beginning. Yeah. But then you get that like sweetness and that clarity because of the mellow drip. And but I'm pouring faster, so I'm trying to get more acidity to shine through everything. Yeah. But this is the style of brew. This is like my current style of brewing now in this year.
I like that. Yeah.
But still, like, man, this coffee is it's very perceivable. But definitely tasting side by side between yours. Okay, so I'll taste mine. Ooh, okay, this is good. It's also really good. So I think the biggest difference for me is like, this is gripping. Yeah. Like this is just, it's on, there's that tannic, the tannins, like it's just on your palate, it's like there. Yeah. Mine is, the acidity is there for a bit of time, but then it goes into that, like, it goes away and it's less gripping. It goes into that like smoother, sweet finish. Right. This is like on my palate still.
Yeah. That's a really good way to describe it. I totally agree. I really like how, how glossy and
there's the trucks outside.
I really like how your brew, Brian, is so elegant. I don't know. It's got a very, very smooth and gentle feel on the palate. It doesn't feel like it's overpowering. My brew style is very intense, information heavy, and it's not necessary as light as this on the finish, which I really like. I really like this.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just my style nowadays. But like,
Man, I might switch to your style.
you try it out. Your brews will be much faster. You can brew a lot more coffee quicker.
Yeah.
Or actually, this is the quickest. So maybe let's try this one now.
Yeah, let's try this.
These are the non-wovens. Same style as mine, but paper filter change and also brewer change. But there should be, definitely already you can see the visuals are a little bit different on this because we're letting more flow through it.
Yeah. Let's see. It was pretty thick.
Yeah, very, very thick looking brew.
Yeah, you can't really tell in the camera there.
Also, yeah.
Oh wow.
Also really, really good. But
wow.
But I think I get more body in the finish.
Way more body.
But you can tell it's like the same style of brew, like dynamic presentation as mine, but it has like more body at the back. And I think that's just the filter, right? The filter is letting more stuff through.
Definitely.
So this is more closer towards your immersion, but still very, very, clean. I mean, like the coffee itself is already insanely clean, but like, this does have a little bit more like stuff that passes through the paper filter.
Yeah.
So it's this is like really what we're saying is like this is a great coffee. You can try all the different brew styles, right? We were hitting brews between 2.5 minutes. Obviously, we're on fast high extraction brewers, and all of our brews look visually high extraction. I would say up to your 4.5, 5 minute brews, and this coffee is tasting great. So yeah, this is a fantastic coffee. But yeah, what do we think about this one?
It brings out the element of Servio's coffee that has a deep plum, red plum body to it, and I think that's a fun thing. That's a fun way to do it. I prefer this than total immersion, non-filter, so it's like slightly filtered, but it really does bring out a new character in the coffee, which is like that really sweet body that you can get with, a French press or AeroPress. And here we have something kind of in between filter and non-filter.
Yeah, but you still get the clarity, right? That's like the nice thing, because it doesn't taste muddy.
Right.
Yeah. But it definitely does remind me of that immersion. But like the brews that we have here, really, really nice. Yeah, your brew is like real when it really cooled down. I'm getting definitely like some citrus in there now, but like gripping, like it. And this is what I was saying earlier is when you let the coffee really, really, really cool down. Like this is basically almost above room temperature. That's when it really opens up. And yeah, there's so much layering in this coffee. It is again very red tasting, but there's like florality in it, hibiscus, easy to perceive for wash coffee, right? This is a loud wash coffee.
Wow, I really like your brew. It's funny, your brew even it tastes to me, less heavy on the palate. It looks like it has more particulate in it. And yet, my brew, it looks visually cleaner, but it tastes heavier.
But that's the interesting thing is that, mine's 1 to 17. Yeah. Yours is 1 to like 18, 19.
Change, yeah.
And you can still, like, you get more body in this brew than my brew.
Yeah.
Which is like fascinating, right? That's interesting.
The interesting thing is like the acidity is so much higher now in a really particular way. I think it's just the body and the acid, where this is just like very clean, light acid presentation.
But it is, I'm trying to get it to be like pointier, right? So it is there, but
it's not, yeah.
Yeah, but yours has got like that
everything all at once. Yeah. I think it's got everything all at once, which is a lot. This is like maybe easier to enjoy. Yeah.
I mean, they're all
objectively speaking here. Yeah.
They're all tasting really good. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like this is a great coffee. Super clean roast. Like this is a good example of like nice coffee. Is like you can do all of this and it's gonna taste good no matter what. Obviously, though, like if you optimize your recipe, there's a little bit more. There's the optimization will really help you push out a lot of those smaller details in the coffee that really help you perceive it. But for us, it's red tasting coffee, easy to drink, but a great example of like clean processed coffee, clean roast. It's tasting great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Thanks for being a part of this project with us, Brian. I was just glad that we had it, and that you know Servio's coffee and have enjoyed it over time. So it's really nice to see also how Servio's coffee goes from this almost like super cranberry tart red in the early harvest to now this is the last pass of 2025 for Servio, or last pass of the last season, I should say, into 2025. And those cherries are generally, heavier on the fruit, heavier on the bricks, and you get like a little bit more saturated of a sweetness. And so it's just cool that we've been able to taste his coffee from first pass to main harvest to now the late harvest. And I love the late harvest. It's just really juicy, and also just has a lot of different kind of purples come out as well. So as we let this rest, we're going to see some new dynamics unfold as well. So.
Yeah, definitely let this coffee rest for, I know you say 2 weeks, but I think this is one that 3, 4, 5, and then I've had some of your coffees 2 months off roast, and they're tasting great. So, this is a coffee, let it rest. Please feel free to try different brew methods with it, and then, share your feedback, right? Message Prestin or email him, and then also hang out on the Discord. But thank you guys so much for watching this video and picking up this coffee and picking up any of Prestin's other coffees. It's tasting fantastic, and we're super happy to be getting this coffee out there to you all. So, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Prestin. And we'll see you in the next video.
Yeah,
all right, bye.